You can't be Italian and not love meatballs, so today I'll turn the humble meatball into 4 mouth-watering recipes. Classic Italian turkey meatballs. Pure comfort. Light and fluffy meatballs nestled in a warm tomato basil sauce. Pizza bianca with kale and meatballs. A golden crust topped with creamy bechamel, meatballs, cheese, and crispy kale. Meatball panini, the perfect Italian sandwich. Prosciutto, meatballs, and provolone melted between grilled ciabatta. Mini meatballs with raspberry balsamic barbecue sauce. A hearty yet delicate appetizer. Meatballs, mango, and radicchio paired with a sweet and tangy sauce. A little meatball madness right at home. I'm starting with my classic Italian turkey meatballs. 1 cup of breadcrumbs. Then we're gonna add a 1/4 cup of whole milk. The milk will keep the meatballs nice and moist. And remember, everything should be at room temperature so that all of the ingredients mix really nicely together. Next, Parmesan cheese. We're gonna add 1/2 cup. Gotta have a little cheese in these meatballs. It just gives them so much flavor. Add 2 eggs. And the eggs are the binder for the meatballs. Some tomato paste. We do about a tablespoon, and the tomato paste just gives it a really rich tomatoey flavor. A little bit of salt, a little bit of pepper, some basil, and some parsley. I like to add all of the ingredients before adding the meat itself. That way I can avoid over-mixing the meatballs, because once you over-mix them, they become kind of tough. We want to add fresh flavor. We are going to add 1/2 of an onion. So what I'm going to do with these meatballs is I'm going to bake them in the oven. And then I'm going to finish a bunch of them in the sauce. We're going to add 2 garlic cloves. I'm not going to add a lot. At this point, once I've added all the ingredients, I mix everything together and kind of really break up those eggs before we add the meat. Okay. Move our tray over so we can set ourselves up here. And I've got my little handy scooper, which I'm gonna use to scoop all the mixture. Let's grab all of the meat. Here is 1 pound of dark meat, ground turkey. It has a little bit more fat in it, so it has a little bit more flavor too. Then we've got some spicy Italian turkey sausage. And it's 1 pound of each. So what we're gonna do is just start mixing the ingredients together. And I like to use my hands because I like to feel the mixture, because this is the fun part. I like to use this ice cream scoop so all the meatballs are exactly the same size. And then we're gonna hold on to about 1/4 of this mixture so I can show you how to make baby meatballs to put on skewers. I want to drizzle the top with just a little bit of olive oil, just to keep them nice and golden brown. We're going to put these in a 400-degree oven for about 15 minutes. So while the meatballs cook, it's time to make my tomato basil sauce. All right, the leftover 1/2 onion from the meatball mixture and another whole onion. We're gonna add a little bit of salt and a little bit of pepper, because you wanna start sweating the onion. 3 cloves of garlic. Just smash and peel, and I'm not going to chop it. A mild garlic flavor. It's not overpowering. I'm just going to give it a quick little stir. The canned tomato. So I'm using crushed tomatoes, and you can use whatever kind of tomatoes you like. There we go. We're going to use 2 28-ounce cans. For a little bit of flavoring and spice, we're going to add some dried oregano and some dried fennel. About 2 teaspoons of dried oregano for a little bit of warmth. And we're going to use 2 teaspoons of ground fennel seeds. It has a slightly licorice flavor. And then mix it all together. Next, we're going to add a bunch of basil. I'm going to use half of it now in the sauce. When the sauce is finished, I'm going to add the remaining basil just for a little bit of freshness. And give it a quick little stir. And then, last but not least, we're going to add a little bit of chicken broth. When the sauce cooks, it reduces down quite a bit, and a lot of the moisture gets evaporated. So you want to add about a half a cup of chicken broth. We're going to cook this about medium heat for 15 to 20 minutes. So here are the meatballs. We're going to put a bunch of them into the sauce. Add the remaining basil. Perfect. And we're going to give it a quick little toss. Then let them sort of reheat and allow just a minute to go by so that the flavors of the meatball and the sauce can combine. The sauce just keeps them really moist. And then you want to just stir them directly in there, and do it gently so you don't break the meatballs. Let's grab a plate. Fish one out with a little bit of sauce. Take a look at this meatball. They're so moist. Got basil, a tiny bit of spiciness from that turkey sausage. It's so, so good. They're delicious. All right, up next, with those meatballs right there, I'm gonna make my pizza bianca with kale and meatballs.
A decadent pizza topped with colorful and crispy greens.